write it then. Oh, tea and sandwich, grilled vegetables. Oh my god. Oh my god, you make me hungry. Hi everyone, another live stream, another week, another live stream. This is how things should be. Things should be. Should be. How is everyone doing? I'm excited, I'm happy. Yeah, I can't wait to see what will be today, what will happen with the sounds and everything. Yeah, and I don't know. Yeah, I think we can start. Thank you again, everyone, for joining. Actually, today is a sort of a celebration for me because just last week, I believe it was last week, that I released my latest course, and I'm really happy with this one. All about generative music, or generative patching, actually, not generative music, generative patching, and yeah, and I'm really happy with this one. There are exercises, there are all sorts of things. I have this one here already. I'm sorry, it's a sort of a plug, but again, I'm really excited about it and happy how it is and how it looks and the different things that I'm going through there. Yeah, so basically a course about generative patching. There's already one rating, which is amazing. Thank you so much. And these are the things that I show in the course, and I have them also here in the notes, most of them at least. And I think this is what we will do today. We will just start experimenting with different ideas of generative patching and yeah, and see where this will go. It doesn't have to be 132 BPM sci-tech vibe. It doesn't have to be generative ambient, of course. And we can try all sorts of things. But that's a good tea. Yes, but we can try all sorts of different things from this list and see how this will go. So let's start with the generative melody. And you know what? Let me already start the poll of the BPM poll. I saw here 132. So let's start the poll already. I don't know. Let's see. Start the poll. BPM question mark 132. It was one. Let's go with 110 like always. Maybe something slower like 85, and maybe something in between like 119 or 123. Right? Let's do something like this. Okay, so basically generative melody. Let's start with this idea. So in the series of videos or in the course, I use a lot the random module from VCV because it has almost everything you need for generating generative melodies. It has probability, built-in probability. It has built-in clock or a rate control, trigger output, and it's great. And it's called random. Of course, nothing is really random, especially in software. And the wonky clock for sure. Oh, microtonal. Ooh, this will be spicy. We will see. Yeah, so nothing is really random because there are always constraints, but we will call this random for now. Let's do this. Someone mentioned what are the XM operator modules. So basically it's very much like the FM operator. Like the FM operator, it's very much inspired by the FM operator, just a bit different. You can choose different waves, different types of FM, phase modulation, ring modulation, amplitude modulation. So it's a bit deeper than the FM operator. So let's start with this. What's the difference, if any, between this module and the nano modules random? There is one difference. I don't have it here, I believe. Let me see. I think I don't have it here. Let's do something like this for a second. Let's do this. Opalach. And nano. Nano, VCV random. So it's basically the VCV random, but here, when you introduce rate modulation, it has built-in feedback that will normalize out to CV ins, that will introduce the modulation back into the CV inputs, right? So you can have built-in the modulation controlling the parameters built in instead of having making the connections, and it's available in hardware. Wogglebug, wow, I'm not familiar with it. I know of it, and I know what it's doing, but I'm not familiar with it. Probably something from NIST, like source of uncertainty or something like this. Probably. But I'm not familiar with Wogglebug, unfortunately. I mean, I know of it, but I don't know exactly what it's doing, other than random things. Okay, so let's, I don't know, shall we make this microtonal? Oh yes, indeed, with the path set mushroom collection. I don't know, do I have microtonal? Do I have something here? No, I don't have something here. You know what, maybe we will have one element that is microtonal. This is a good idea. But let's start slowly and with a simple thing, right? For something that in the very beginning you can already try. Let's go today with something like this, let's say. Maybe A also. Right, so basically this module will generate, if I open the scope here, it will generate random voltage, right? And again, I say random, it's not really random, but you know what I mean. I mean, we can control the rate, we can control the range, right? But it will generate random stepped voltage that we can then use very easily for a generative melody. Now, this is the very, very basics. Of course, it can get boring really quickly. But this is the very basics. Let me use also the trigger. Okay, because it's a trigger. Okay, never mind. Let's do this. Because I'm using the envelope. Oh, sorry. Let's continue. Yeah. Right, so this is the very basics. This is your first step into the generative. Lazy Susan. Lazy Susan. I think there is the it's now the Repelsen. Now it's the Repelsen collection, no? Hi, Galibor. Right, so this is the very basics. This is as soon as you start with generative stuff, patching, this is the first thing you try is random stepped voltage into a quantizer or without a quantizer, and that's what you get. But now, let's already introduce some wonkiness here. So I think on the generative rhythms. So in generative rhythms, I also show this idea of wonkiness. So what I can do is I can have, for example, another of the outputs here, and this is what's nice about the hardware module. You don't need to make this connection, but I can connect this to the rate. And now we get something a bit more wonky. Let me change. Right, so we get those slurs of notes, and we can even add built-in probability, which is always nice. So there's a chance, there's a chance that it will not send out a trigger and it will not generate a new value, right? So let's add probability. Or let's remove probability as it is. Right? So now we get less notes. What about the poll? I didn't check the poll, sorry. 23 votes, so that's amazing. And it's 85 Still 85, 85, 85. Let me wait. Okay, I will wait a bit more. If you have time and patience and would like to join our poll here for the BPM, it will be great. Now another thing I can do is I can also set this to be unipolar, so it will just start at 0 and go up. But then everything changes, also the clock. By the way, I didn't mention it, maybe I just did it automatically, but I attenuated the signal here on the quantizer itself. Right, if I would not make it, it will sound like this. Let me just take the volume down a bit, it will be annoying. Right, but I can attenuate it directly from the quantizer. And we can even offset things, you know, maybe I will take less notes. Maybe let's take just this here. And I will set it back to be bipolar, that's nicer. And then later on we can also offset things before the quantizer and to create some sort of movement, maybe also generative in a generative way, right? But let's start already changing the sound here a bit. So something we can do, and this is only in VCV Rec, not in hardware, but, and I now forget how it's called, it's from Bog Audio. We can have this polyphonic and have each note have its own decay, basically, right? And notes will overlap. And let me see if I remember how it's called. I don't remember how it's called, but let's see if I can find it. This is the stack, I believe. No, not stack, assign, yeah, assign, okay. So now I can change, I can use the volt per octave and the gate, and the volt per octave and the gate will come out of here. I will already spread this in the stereo field with the bass module, right, so it will be a bit left and right. So now it's a bit quiet, but now I can raise the channels and each channel will get its own gate. So we have also the decay. Let's go with 8. Right, so the notes will ring out. Okay, I'm going to end the poll and it's 85. Hi. Oh man, don't get me started on this channel. Never mind. Bono, hi. Right, so now we have the notes also ringing out. Is already relaxing. Right, and then maybe we can take the attenuation a bit higher, so we get even also higher notes. Yes. So assign will create polyphony. It will assign each note to its own channel, and then each note has its own decay or release, depending. Here I'm using release because it's a trigger, and then they will ring out, and this is quite nice. And now we can also add, if I take for example the quad LFO, we have here 8 channels of polyphony, so I can change the quad LFO to have also 8 channels. And also here this is already set to be also generative in a way, because from the quad LFO we get smooth random modulation. Right, maybe I will use the scope here now. Right, we don't need the scope always there. But now, right, we get now 8 channels, of course. Let me turn this off for a second, just so we see the one. Right, we have smooth, random modulation. Right, so also generative modulation is also an important aspect. And in this case, again, we can do this polyphonically per voice. And I have here 4 channels like this. So I can modulate, for example, the detuning. A bit. Right, we get this tape-like sound. If I prefer Bitwig or VCV for sound design, I have to say I feel more at home in VCV, in the modular mindset. But Bitwig is also, even without the grid, it's also very modular. Without the grid even, because there is modulation everywhere. And basically it gives you sort of CV access, right? Access to control voltage. But I don't know, I have to say, in many cases I find Bitwig in general just it sounds better, I guess. But I don't know, I like both. That's why I'm using both also. You know, I'm using both for everything. Yeah, I don't know, I really like both of them. They are quite different than one another, but they are both very modular, and that's what I like about both of them. But they are modular. Right, another thing we can do is modulate the feedback. So now I have feedback set as phase modulation feedback, which is very much the sound of the FM operator. And again, this will happen polyphonically in a generative way. Right, and we can add even another XM op. Another XM op, which was duplicated here. This will be now the modulator. So we're gonna need again volt per octave and gates. Right, in this case, let's use which FM. Maybe you can use amplitude modulation, or let's use ring modulation, which is also amplitude modulation. And again, this will be in a generative way. So this will go to the XM mode. Maybe later we will change the multiplication division, so the ratio between the oscillators. But for now, let's just modulate the amount. Yes, totally, for sure. It has this soft saw-like sound. It's very Blade Runner-y. Right, so now maybe I will take the multiplication here up. And also here maybe I can modulate the detuning, right? Polyphonic. So listen to this sound now, how lovely it is. Right, now again, very easily and very quickly we created a generative melody with a generative rhythm. And we created also, or added, generative movement with generative modulation. Right? And this can be many things. Like this can be texture for ambient techno, this can be just by its own. You know what we can do? We can add now another layer, and again we will do this in a generative way. And we will do this, someone mentioned before, which I'm not using often enough, I have to say, the modules I created with PathSet. So this is PantherCap, and it's a sampler, and it's great also for generative sampling, which is also here on the list. It's also something I'm showing generative looping and sampling, something I show in the course, which is also quite fun. Hi, Mitcha Pitch, hi. Right, so I will use, you know what I will do? First of all, I will send this to a delay. Let me just use, for example, this one here. Right, I will send a copy to a delay, maybe without or with less low frequencies, not so much feedback, but more modulation, which is basically also detuning. Mix all the way up. We have already the dry signal, so we can use here only the wet. And after the delay, this will go to Panther Cap, which I can then, right, record and sample. So what I will do, I will record. I will remove this for a second. I will record an empty recording, right? Something like this. And then on top of this, I will use more probability, in this case with chances from count modular, which will add probability to clocks and triggers and whatnot. Right, so let's do... Let's do this from the main clock. Right, so now I added probability to this clock, and then I can use this to record. We have audio here, yeah, right, to record in a generative way this right, this audio. And then let me solo this. This is now what we get from Panther Cap. Right? Generative sampling and looping of this voice after the delay. There is something special about holding a cup of tea with two hands. I don't know, it tastes better somehow. It gives it more importance. Right, now Panther Cap is granular, so I can raise the size and overlap just to get a nicer sound. And now what I can do, for example, with output B, I can trigger the flip. So sometimes it will play also in reverse. Hi, today it's all about generative patching. Generative techniques, generative patching. Let's add also some stereo width. Let me see just a second. Let me bring this now. You know what I can also do? I can also, in the right click menu, I can change the, where is it? The time mode to affect also pitch, and then take it one octave down. And now let's listen to both of them. Right, maybe a bit lower in volume. Right, and then we always get some sort of sound from this generative sequence. Now let me see for a second. I try to wonk my beats in VCV with signal, delay, sample and hold, and a VCA. To wonk my beats, wonder if there is an easier way to do it. With signal, delay, sample and hold, and VCA? You mean like delaying the beats always in different, with different times? This is what you mean? I'm unsure if I understand. Mix all the way up. There are some clicks here. I'm unsure where should it come from. Panther cap should be click free. But there is something here going on. Okay. So now we have also this, right, which is generative sampling and looping. Let's see generative modulation probability. Oh, let's try generative with sample and hold. So sample and hold, something that I always... cool. Yeah. So totally trigger delay is the way to go. You can also use something like a function generator, for example. I'm sorry, I will just show this for a second, right? Like a function generator, you can use the end of cycle as a trigger delay. Right, so if I trigger this, for example, this is just knock, never mind which one you use. You can use integral flux, you can use whichever you want. But if I use here, right, the end of cycle of the function generator, and I change the envelope times, it will also add a delay. Right, it will also add a delay. You can see this on the scope, right, to the trigger. So you can use this and modulate the function, modulate the times, and also get something interesting. Okay, so sample and hold, sample and hold, sample and hold. Let's use process. So sample and hold, and I do this a lot. I mention sample and hold in the context of randomness. Right, melodies from sample and hold, modulation from sample and hold, but sample and hold at its core has nothing to do with randomness. It's not random. It all depends what you feed into it. Right, so a really nice technique for generative melodies and sequences that are not completely random, right? Generative doesn't necessarily mean random. So something that you can do is use sample and hold with something like LFOs to introduce always different movement that is not random, but it is generative. And again, sample and hold by itself has nothing to do with randomness. It all depends on what you feed into it. So if we use something like an LFO, right, with the scope to the input, and I will use a triangle wave with a sample and hold, and let's say that I will use a multiplied by 4, or maybe even more. I just want to show you this for a second. Right, I use a fast clock, and you can see we get basically the shape of the LFO, so the sample and hold with each incoming trigger, or clock in this case, will sample the LFO, and LFO is not really random, but the relationship between the triggering clock or signal and the LFO is what makes this generative melody, in this case it will be really interesting, because it will always change and be organic, right? So I'm going to use, let's say, multiplied by 2 clock. Okay, and this is basically the signal we get, and again, the relationship between the LFO and this multiplied clock is what will give us the interesting generative results. So I'm going to use, and then we'll go back to the quantizer also. I'm going to use another quantizer. In this case, let's have different notes. Let's have something like this. Let's see if this works. Right, and now let me take another look-y-the look. Yeah. White noise exactly is an internally normal signal input with their own noise source. Yeah, some have their own noise source, but not all. Feedback synthesis? We can try feedback synthesis, but what is I'm unfamiliar with the JP8000. Sorry, I'm not a big synth guy. So where were we now? I wanted a voice. Let's go with palette, for example. Right, so we have volt per octave, and now let's use the FM thing here. And again, I have to attenuate this because otherwise it will go all over the place. And I will use also a unipolar LFO. Let me solo this for a second. And again, if I make the LFO slower, it will have a different result. Right, so there is repetitiveness here. It is repetitive, but it is also ever-changing and always organic. Right, this is the shape of the LFO, by the way. You can see the pitch follows the LFO. No worries, man, cheers. Yeah, in this case I'm not looking to sync it, I want it to always move. I want this relationship between the clock and the LFO to always create something a bit different. Right, so this is what we have here. And now, here we can have... Soon we will add some modulation. What happened here? Have echo. Right, and we can have also maybe like 5 taps that will go from left to right. Is this still alive there? Yeah. This is already very nice, and again we have here feedback or modulation. Right, and here what we can do is we can use another chances, so more probability with an envelope. Let's use the AD envelope from Cell. Right, and again use the clock and have probability for modulation, for modulating this. Right, so every now and then it will do this. So we need longer attack, let's say about, I don't know, 800 milliseconds. I don't know if it's enough. Now here on chances we have also different modes. You see now it's set to normal, which means that I can have a few consecutive triggers coming out from the same output. I don't want this. I want it that it either comes from A or B and not A, B, 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 A, and so on and so forth. So I can change this to latch, and now it's, you see it stays either A or B. And this will trigger our envelope. And I see already that the attack should be a bit longer. Let me see, use ML Quantum for trigger outs to pellets Lopez gate trigger in. Well, I can use, first of all, yes, I can do this, but you know what, just before I had a conversation with someone about this, and there is from Repelsen, there is the retrig, which will basically add to a quantizer what Quantum is doing. So I can send the pitch here, and then send, it will give me a gate. Right, I like the color to be dark. Right, something like this. Can you mod the master clock slightly? I don't know. We have here already a wonky rhythm. I don't know. I think it's nice to have something steady, but maybe we can concentrate more on generative rhythms in a second and create something a bit. Oh, Black Noise Cosmos. I'm lucky to have Cosmos also as hardware, and it's a lovely, lovely module. You just plug things to the two inputs and you get a whole world of CV or audio, which is quite nice. Okay. So now we have this. Now what I want to introduce a bit of change to the quantizers, and we will do this also in a generative way, but first of all I just want to listen how this will sound like. We have here the offset control, right, that I can offset the quantizers. Right, and always go back to the original. So what we can do, you know what we can do? I know what we can do. Let's use a switch, a sequential switch. This is also something I'm showing or I show in the course, is using switches for adding all sorts of generative movement and variation, right? And what we can do is we can have here a random signal. And let me show you what I mean by that, by itself sample and hold has nothing to do with randomness. And you can see here we used an LFO. And here this sample and hold has no built-in noise, right? But we can, let me use the gate. We will use it divided by, let's say 9, I don't know why, right? But if I use noise, like someone mentioned in the chat, it will be random because noise by itself is random. Right, so now with the noise we will get, and with the gates of course it will trigger this, we get again random stepped voltage that we can also slew, but in this case I don't want to slew them. What I do want is to control their level, their range, right? And this will be step 1 on the sequential switch. I will use the same clock to move between the steps, and we will have only 2 steps. Step number 2 will be empty. This will be our original pitch. Step number 1 will each time be different and will transpose the quantizers. Right, and let's open this, for example, 15%, I don't know. Let's see. So now it's on step 2, I think. Now step 1, and it should be transposed. Maybe I have to take the gain a bit higher. Yes. Yes. Oh, nice. If I'm still using much hardware, oh, this is now way too much. I think we have to take the gain a bit down, maybe back to 15%. If I'm still using much hardware, yes and no. yes and no. I have those surges where I every day try, or not try, but every day I like sit on the modular and I work on it, and there are weeks that I don't touch it. It all depends on time and stuff like this. Now luckily I am using it almost every day in the last week or so. Yeah, I don't know, there is something about hardware that's different. The brain doesn't work so much. Sorry, like in software. Never mind if it's PCV, Bitwig, whatever, Ableton. It's like meditation a bit. Not the music, but the patching. Cheers, Linus! Yeah. So, the thing is, what bothers me lately with hardware is because I don't have a lot of time. Because I don't have a lot of time, with hardware you cannot really go back. You can go back, but it's always different to things you started. Like there is no save, right? If I start working on a patch and then I have to stop, next time I turn on the system, there will be something different. Even if you can save the sequence and the modulation, things are a bit different, right? This bothers me a bit lately, because with software, you know, I can work, if I have like 20 minutes and I want to work on something, I can just start, work on it, save it, come back to it later. But with hardware, it's a bit more difficult. So that bothers me a bit, but it's not necessarily a good thing when you can save something and come back to it later, because then you never finish it. But sometimes it's like this, sometimes it's like that. Yeah, okay. You're not too late. What's the time now? No, we just started. But now we can turn this, so now we made a transposition, right? Now things transpose also. Now I want to add some rhythm to this, right? Maybe not make this generative ambient, but generative something else. That's great, man, thank you. Yes, that's what I meant, the limitations of hardware, that's what I meant with it's not necessarily a good thing when you can save something and come back to it later, because then you just, you ruminate on it and you know, it becomes like bubblegum. And the nice thing about hardware that I also like is that it's a one-time thing, you know, that's some of the magic of it. But lately, because I'm so short in time, it bothers me a bit. You know, like if I have 20 minutes, I will not go and sit at the system, because I know that I have just 20 minutes and there's nothing I can make in 20 minutes, right? So I have less and less time, and this bothers me a bit. But again, it's not necessarily a good thing or a bad thing. There are days like this and days like that. Pixels, hi. Yes, for sure. Especially these days, things are quite expensive. Yeah. Yes, limits are the doorway to creativity. What's with my voice? This tea is very spicy today, I think. Okay. Ginger tea. So what kind of rhythm we can add to this? I'm unsure. I don't want 4 to the floor. Forget about 4 to the floor. But I do need some steady rhythm that we can then build something generative on top of it. What do you think about that? We can use, we can have klezmer rhythms. Oh, this is now nice how it's transposing. I feel like a minimal kick drum with like 7 steps or something like this. Okay, so here it will be 5 steps. Right? And as always, tap dancer with a kick. Maybe less sweep. Right, something like this maybe. Tick-a-tum, tick-a-tum. Takatam, takatam. Okay. We are at 85, I believe. Listen to this. Cool. Yeah, step dancer is great. Tap dancer is great. It's great for rhythmic stuff, yeah. For sure. Okay, so now on top of this we can add some generative rhythms. And let me think what type of instruments we will have. Maybe let's start with a snare. Whatever I written here, snare. Oh, and you know what we can do? We have another chapter here is generative rhythms, and another chapter is the Turing machine. So we can use the Turing machine to generate rhythms for us, which is always fun because it's very structured in a generative way, which is always nice. Let's use a multiplied by 4 clock. Right, and here we have the trigger section or the pulses section where we can have generative triggers that we can also lock and unlock. There are more variations of the Turing machine, of course, but for now we will use this one. I just want to take everything down here, so it's not too much. Then we can unlock it and lock it again, right? So unlocking it will create a new rhythm when we lock it, and maybe we can have a sequence of 10 steps, let's say. So if I go to 5, we can lock it to the right, it will give us a 5-step sequence, which is now everything is full, and if we lock it to the left, we have double the length, we will have 10 steps. Right, so this is what we will do. I love this sound, I like it. Let's see, let me just look at the chat. Thank you again so much for joining, everyone. So many people in midday. You have no work to do, I don't understand. No, I'm joking. Please stay, don't leave me. Very long swell bass nested in the background. Yes, still no bass for sure. Sending love, thank you so much from London. Hi hi. How do we like Marbles versus the Turing machine? I think the Turing machine is just more straightforward than Marbles. Marbles is nice. Hi hi Slocus, hi hi. Hey, cool. Okay, so now the plan is to lock it, unlock it, and to change the snap, because this is quite nice, and maybe also penning modulation. Right, so what we can do here, let's do this. I will use a gate sequencer, which is called a trigger sequencer, but it can also output gates. Clock. Let me see. Yeah, maybe the normal clock here. And then in the right-click menu I can change this to gate. And gate means that consecutive steps will stay on, which means we get longer gates. This will, first of all, lock and unlock the sequence. Now I have it locked to the left, so when I have gates on, it will be unlocked. So let's have, let's say, half of it locked and half of it unlocked. Maybe some, not half, but maybe a quarter. So now I wonder, this is locked now? Okay. Perfect, then we get silence also sometimes. This is amazing. Nice, thanks so much. I'm happy you like the courses. Thank you. Okay, what was it? Stereo strip for penning? Perfect. Why not? Let's do this. Here. So now I can also use the volts extension. Let's say here, if I use a scope, right? We get also CV that I can then use for modulating, for example, the snap. Something like velocity. A bit too high. So what happens here, basically, the lights here are bits. Either the bit is on or the bit is off. And each bit will get its value here up to 2 volts. So if, for example, just bit 1 is active, we have 2 volts bit, or up to 2 volts, bit 1 and 2 up to 4 volts, and so on and so forth. And this will create our sequence. And shape the sound here a bit. Right, and then again have generative or random modulation for penning. No, that's the level. No, that's the penning, yeah. Why is it not? Why is it not? Yeah, TV. Oh, deep rim shot with a reverb, yes. What is second out on decay? On this decay? Or the noise decay? We can, yeah, let's see the noise decay. know what we can also do? I think I have here, yes, the molten modular. And the molten modular here is a send effect. Where is the output? No, this is not what I want. What am I doing? Just a second. The molten modular is yes, this is the output. Is a send effect module, which means that we can send sound into different effects, and also here we can do this in a generative way because it has some sort of a slew. Right, you see in soft mode the effects return is still active, giving you reverb tails or decay and delay taps, and it's a soft muting, so it will not create clicks or anything. And now I can have this going to a reverb, for example, right, with lots of decay, and in a generative way send it to the reverb, maybe with a longer size. No need for lows here, no need for modulation also, maybe a bit less diffusion. No, more right, just to create those washes. And again, also here we can use probability with chances, and maybe use the main clock. Right, and I don't want it to, I don't know, let's see. Right, something like this. Or maybe again I can use the latch mode like we've seen before and use it as a gate. So only when it's high, it will go to the reverb. 0.5, yeah, for sure. The good old days. Maybe without the dry? No, with it. Maybe less decay, but... Right, and maybe also not so high. And now let's see this rim shot. Where is the rim shot? Let's use the rim shot with lots of reverb and maybe like pre-delay. And let's do this first. You know what? Maybe we'll use the XFX reverb. What do you think? We still need a nice bass. Maybe also something rhythmic and generative. Maybe also with a Turing machine. We will see. To solo this for a second story. Hey, it's this one? No. This. Wow, you know what I feel like? I feel like doing something like this. I feel like doing something like this. Ah, okay. I have to copy this. The molten modular, it's free. Yeah, it's a part of the Befaco collection. Right, I feel like doing something like this. So let's try and build this voice. For controlling it, again, I will use generative or random modulation here. And you know what? Maybe I will use the quad LFO. Maybe the quad LFO, because again, it will output smooth random voltage, because what I wanted to do here, I want to modulate Maybe just a bit, the tuning, I don't know. No, maybe that's too much, maybe. But the velocity we can for sure modulate. I don't know if the decay. Oh, with feed, yes. So you know what we can do? Let's do this. Let's see if this will work with echo. So I will use also the fade here. Echo. Because here on echo we can also control the gain. So I will use fade to have also panning modulation. Let's see if this will work in context. Let's concentrate on the sound. Right, so I can modulate also the panning now with the X fade. And now a short delay. Now I think the echo is a bit, it has too long of a delay. We need something that goes even shorter, and I think we will have to use the VCV delay, which is mono, or actually the Surge XT delay, or the tree delay. I don't know if the tree delay. Oh, Prism of Perception, of course. Of course. Yes. Right, and now what we can do here is use, in this case, sample and hold that has built-in noise. Use the same triggers from the LFO and modulate a bit the time. Maybe also with freezing, I don't know. And then here, I don't know, maybe it will blow up everything. But here maybe you can use send and return with the reverb. I am unsure if it will work because of the feedback. Maybe it will just feedback really a lot. No, okay. But it kind of ruined this delay effect, right? So let's use plateau as a insert, let's say. And then I know what we can do. We can have another chances here, more probability. This is a nice generative patch here, right? Again in latch mode, clearing the reverb. Take out the lows here and let's see if it works in context. Yes, definitely bringing it in and out. It should not be there all the time, but it sounds nice. I think it should be a bit higher also in frequency, which can be we can do with the bandpass filter before the panning here and some resonance. Right, with the modulation. cheers. I hope you will like it. Let me know how it goes with the course. Maybe I will take the mix on the delay also all the way up. We only have this. And let's have an unsynced LFO. Unsynced LFO, just basically unsynced LFO, to raise the drive here, so the volume sending it to the reverb and the delay, but maybe make this slower. Martin Luders, hi! Wow, long time no see. Hi, hope you're doing well. I like this. Okay, what else do we have here? We have comparators, generative looping, adding structure. You know what we will do? Let's add two more things. Let's add chords with a shift register, and let's add a bass. And then maybe we can also arrange things with a counter, which can also be interesting. Yeah, someone just mentioned 0.5, the version 0.5 before, and here comes Martin Luders, the man himself. The OG, indeed. Okay. So what did I say now? Yeah, shift register. So a shift register will work more or less like sample and hold. It will also sample the incoming signal with each incoming trigger, but it will also shift it down. I'm going to use the one from ML, of course, now that Martin is here. It will also shift it down the outputs with each trigger, which can give us multiple notes at once, which will give us chords. So let's see which one, which quantizer we will use. You know what we can do? We can make this even more interesting by using logic, analog logic. And you know, someone mentioned Cosmos before, so let's do this with Cosmos, because we can. So we have two inputs on Cosmos. I'm going to use both outputs from the quantizers, right? And then here we can mix and match them, and we have analog logic, for example, OR, which is the maximum, or we have also XOR through zero clipper, which will give us a different result. So we basically combine both of them into one stream. Shall we use OR or AND? So minimum or maximum? Maybe I will use the maximum output. Right, so again, a combination of both quantizers. And now, since we are doing this, I'm going to use Quantum because Martin is here. Thank you, Martin, for joining. Cool breeze. Oh my god. Yes. The Cosmos module from Black Noise, it's sort of a computer module. It has logic, analog logic, digital logic, summing, mixing. It's available also in hardware. It's quite interesting. I think I have multiple videos about this one. Okay. So now let's choose the notes that we want to have with our chords. So we have more or less E there. So let's go with E, and let's go with A, and maybe B, and maybe C, maybe something like this, right? And now this will go to the quantizer, from the quantizer to the input of the shift register, and we will use again a divided clock. Let's use, okay, the divided by 9. Why not? The divided by 9. And now you see already it starts shifting. If I use a, what is it? Can I use a tuner, for example, to show you this? Right, so you see here we have, it's just for, no, I think, is it? It's just for audio. Oh, okay, never mind. But now the pitch, with the pitches or the notes are also shifting down, and we get multiple notes that then we can use with multiple oscillators. Let's use maybe something, I think Squinky has an oscillator or a module that is actually 3 oscillators in one, which is this one. That's the even VCO times 3, which is great. Right, so we have volt per octave. Let's skip 1 volt per octave, skip 1 volt per octave, or maybe even skip more. Right, and now we have polyphony of 3, not polyphony, but polyphony of 3 voices of the chords. And we have here also a mix output. And we have the levels, which is perfect. I'm just thinking, maybe I will use the filter from Venom here. Let's start with low pass and see where this will take us. Maybe we'll use the morph. Right, I'm going to solo this for a second. Okay, so now we have oscillator 1, 2, 3. Right? I don't want bass, I want to separate bass. Right? So we have a chord. And let's go with squares, because we can modulate. I wonder if it's too loud. Okay. Too loud. And it's too low. Is it now? Ah, no, that's false width. Sorry. Yes. You know what I will do? Instead of the quad LFO, I will use here the 7, Armod 7, which gives me 7 modulation sources. Because now I think I will use the morph. I'm unsure, but we can morph between different filters. So maybe band pass high pass, or low pass high pass, or band pass notch, let's say. I'm unsure. Maybe, what did you say before? Band pass, high pass? Let's see what happens here with band pass, high pass. But you know what? From the morph, I cannot, the spread will not work. So maybe we'll leave this in low pass. Or maybe, you know what? I can do this. We can chain them, or chain 2 of them. No, this will stay low pass, but one will be notch and one will be low pass, right? So we have here more movement. Let's go here. Sorry, I'm not following the chat. Hi. No worries, no worries. Squinky, we said OGs, right? Okay, and now we have here spread, and I can spread them on both, so we can have... but then I don't have another output for the cutoff here. That's okay, it's a bit high, right? So what I can do is maybe before the quantizer here, I can just scale it down a bit. maybe like 50%. Hi. Did I add here reverb? Okay, now. Hi. Hello. Okay, I need here a bit more wonkiness, so I'm going to use again the Chordal F4. But then I don't have... no, I have here mod. Okay, so we're going to add FM to each of the notes, because I want a bit of wobbly wobble. And to the filter. Maybe with the unipolar modulations. Walk 2, yes, we can use Walk 2, it's just that it has only, you see it's even bigger than Chordal F4 and it has only 2 sources. Here I have 4. Which is not necessarily bad because we have unlimited space in VCV, but just to have everything in one... Oh, Nil Sanche, hi. That's the chords, wow, nice. It even gives us a bit of a melody. You know what I will do here? I will also send this through Grainer, which has also reverb and can also pitch shift things. Oh, there's so many nice things going on here. Okay, now we wanted bass, right? So we can use again here another output from the Turing machine. And for bass I like using kick-all, we can process it a bit, but... Okay, so now there is something, I mean it's quite easy to do. No, but you know what, let's do it like this. Okay, let's have, let's say the 2+4 here. Grain freeze? Unfortunately, there is no CV input here for freeze, which is quite weird, but there is no CV input here for freeze. What do you think? Shall I leave the bass like this sparse, or shall we have something a bit more rhythmic? Maybe with the Euclidean sequencer that we can also modulate in a generative way? What do you think? think this is a better idea. Because I want this always to play, but with a different rhythm. I don't want it to be silent for now. Before we start with sound design, let's first of all figure out the rhythms. Let's use again the random module. Wow, it's 2:30. Oh my god. It's going to be a longer stream today, I think. Sturmelder. Yeah, no, I think I will leave this for a second like this. But what I want is we have the end of cycle. I'm going to use the end of cycle to trigger the random module. So with each cycle we get a new value which will change the hits and the length. Right, let's do this. Can start with with longer values. Let's say with 16 steps we start. And maybe also unipolar, so it just goes up. Right, what I like to do on kick all is add some some chorus distortion and another filter. Right, so let's do this chorus distortion and another filter, a low pass filter, just to add some oomph to it, and then we will use a counter to create some a piece, a finished piece of music. We'll see. Let me use two envelopes here, two AD envelopes, or one maybe is enough, with the same triggers, maybe less hits, but start with fewer hits. Okay. And I can change the envelope level with the level control here. Okay, because there's a filter. Yeah. Right, I want something like this. And here another, maybe the decay is too long. Here another envelope that will control way too loud. Right, so now we have also a bass, a rhythmic bass. It's also somewhat generative. I like this patch. So what do you think? Let's create a generative arrangement with a counter. This is also something I'm showing in the course. For those of you, I've just mentioned it at the beginning. It's just that I'm really proud of it, and I would like to mention it that last week I think it was, I released a new course about generative patching, which is quite fun with exercise and all sorts of things. Yeah, where I show many of the things that I show today also. Generative techniques and patching technique. Or ways of approaching things. Yeah, so I just want to mention this again. And now we will add a counter. Let's use the countdown 3 from Count Modular. We will use a few of them, and with this we can create a generative arrangement. So we just have to think what we want that to start first, how we want to start this. But let's see, let's solo for a second. Okay, I think we can start with the first voice. Okay, so where is the first voice now? I believe it was this one here, right? Yes, so what we will do, I will use the fade module, also from Count Modular. This will fade this voice in and out. Right, this will fade this voice in and out. So I can say, for example, it will fade in, let's say it will take it 2 seconds to fade in. And we will see later, maybe like 5 seconds to fade out. Maybe this will be how we will end everything. Right, and then we have here a generative clock also that will send out triggers in a generative way. So this can clock also the counter. I will set this, let's say, to 20 triggers. So it will count down 20 triggers from this. And then something else will happen. And I will use the push module from VCV to trigger, first of all, to bring in this voice, right? To trigger this. Does it work? Yes, it works with the trigger. Perfect. And while I trigger this, I also trigger the counter, right? So let's see when it works, right? I trigger the voice fades in, the counter starts counting. Okay, because it's set to gate, so I need to set this to latch. Control input mode, start, stop, so I can start this here. Right, let's reset everything. Start it. Fades in, the counter starts. We can set it also to a longer period. Maybe 20 is a bit too less. Right, and when it's done, something else will happen. Let's have it on 30, let's say. Right, so this is this one here, and now when it's done, let's bring in the bass. I didn't tune the bass even. It's playing a C. I don't want to play a C. I want it to play an E. With ref tone, I can do this. Right, so let's say after this happens, maybe it will fade in also a bit longer. After this happens, right? We will have our bass. Right, we will have our bass. And do we have here? Yes, we have also a run input that I can just use. Right, so let's do this. When this ends, it will trigger the Euclidean sequence. Right, let's see, let's try this again. I will just fade this out. Let's have the fade out for a second, really short. So we don't have to wait for it all the time. Is it still fading out? Okay. Perfect. So now again, just to test this, I'm going to start it. It will fade in. No, now it's still running. What is going on here? Because I'm using the control. Just a second. Okay, now. And what was it here? Right, so I fade it in. It counts 30 generative triggers, and then the bass should start. it didn't start. Why it didn't start? Because it's expecting also a gate. Let's see this with push. I think it's expecting also a gate. Yes, it's expecting a gate. Okay. So let's see what we can do. It's gonna make things a bit more complicated. I hope this is okay for everyone. But basically with the gates module from VCV, we have also a flip flop. So what I can do, I can flip and flop. Can basically raise a gate. So this now should work. Let's see. End of cycle. Okay. Now here I just have to do this for a second. And now let's think about it. This should work now. So let's continue. Hi Brazil. So this should work. This should work now. So we can leave it. And then after it, let's bring this. Or maybe we can bring this also with the bass. So we can have another fade here to bring also the sample. Right, again I have to change this to start and stop. Let's have it also coming directly, or maybe also fade in a bit. Right, so this will come also together with the bass, and then what? And then maybe the kick. Right, and then maybe the kick. What do you think about this? Where is the kicky? Right, for now we'll just use the fade because it's really easy. Just to do this, of course I can also just unmute things here. But you know what else I can do? I can start and stop the sequence also. Okay, so let's take another counter. Where is it? And let's say that after a while that this is playing, right, and we will take maybe the triggers now from the Euclidean sequence, which is also more or less generative. So maybe have here maybe 35. We don't want to wait so long. Right, let's say 35, and this will start. This will run the sequence. Let me just make sure that it works with the trigger. No, it doesn't. Run input gate trigger. Yes, right, so it will run the sequence and will also reset it because we need it also to start from the beginning. Right, so if this will happen after 35 here, 35 from the yes, right, so it will start 35 ticks or triggers, generative triggers after the bass came in. Right, so this is also already nice. And then we have the kick. Maybe then we can bring in this sequence and take out the kick. I know it's becoming very complex, but bear with me. I hope it will be okay. Okay, so what we need here, I want to bring in this voice, which is up. It's up, it's up, it's up. Right, and I'm going to use the fade again before the delay, so it will also have a chance to fade out with the delay. Bring it, let's say something like this, high, right, fade it in, again change the control mode. We need to change it to start stop because we are using here triggers. Right, so now the kick is playing 35, or the kick is playing, and then when it starts playing it will trigger right? It will trigger here this countdown that will count with, let's say again, with this generative clock, right? And let's say it will count, let's say 40 triggers, and it will trigger, it will bring in this voice, and it will, I want it also to bring out the kick, right? So we need some sort of way to mix things, and it's not really mixing, it's more combining, right? Because they don't happen at the same time. So I can do this, I can mix here once the run and once the reset. And because I want this also to, right, to stop the kick, so the kick is not playing when this comes in. No, I'm not an engineer. It's like solving Sudoku here, I'm sorry. But I'm trying. We don't have so many voices left, so it will not take so long. But eventually I will hit a button and everything will just play on its own. Right, so now it will count 40 steps. It will bring in this sequence. It will take out the kick and it will start another counter. Right, it will start another counter that will have, let's say, 45 steps with another, maybe not with a generative clock, maybe with a normal clock in this case. And this will bring in maybe fewer triggers. Right, this will bring in this and yes, and this will bring in those two voices and will bring back the kick also. So let's start with the snare. Where is the snare? This is the snare right in front of me. Right, and I will also want it to fade in. I don't want it to start directly. Where is the output? This is the output. Left and right. Left and right. Have this, let's say 2 seconds. Right, again, change the control mode to trigger. Right, so it will count and bring in the snare. And I hope it's not too boring for you. But something you should definitely experiment with. It's fun. It's like solving Sudoku. I said it already, I know. And this will bring back the kick and will reset also the sequence, right? So then we have multiple voices coming in at once, but it should bring in also this voice. Also this voice. Left and right, change control mode. Maybe have it longer, let's say 3 seconds of fade in, fade out. Something here is like, was it this one here? Yes. And then we have the last voice. Right, this one here. So now I can just remove all the solos here. That's it. Right, so now we have this voice. That, which is, what was it? It was this one here, right? That will come in. You know what? Maybe have it also come in with the snare and everything when the kick comes back in. Replace the snare. We can try this next time because I want now really to concentrate on this. But yeah, maybe you know what can work really well? Recording some sort of shaker so it's even more organic. And then we said is the 15. So this will fade this also in. Maybe this will be also maybe fade in, you know what, 5 seconds, let's say. Right, so now when I hit thingy, everything should work, and then I want to fade out things also. I want also to fade out things. So let's have another counter. For fading things out, let's say it will play for 60 triggers. Again, it will be a generative trigger source, right? Let's go with the first voice here. Right, and this will first of all be triggered by this 15 thingy, right? It will start another counter. First of all, it will stop the kick, right? And it will fade out something. What should it fade out? I guess it should fade out maybe this sequence here, right? This one here. So also here, this triangle sample and hold voice. So also here we need to mix, which is not really mixing because again they don't happen at the same time, but we have to mix the triggers. Oh no, I started. Okay. Right, so this will also fade out. What's the fade out time? Let's have it a bit longer. Then when this is done, it will count a bit more, right? It will trigger a bit more, maybe with a different clock, maybe with a, let's say with a multiplied clock from clocked. It will count, let's say 40, and it will bring out maybe the snare. Right, where is it? This is the snare. Yes, this is the snare. Again, mixing. Soon we will hit play and we will listen to this and see if I forgot something. Right, this and this here, mix them. Right, perfect. And also this voice here, I would like it to fade out. 1 and 2. If anyone is following in the chat, please let me know if I forgot anything. But eventually we will have which voice should stay at the end. I think the voice we started with, right? So now we have another counter that will count, let's say 30 triggers with the generative clock. Where is the generative clock? Here, puff. And will be triggered by the last counter. Valley! Wow, Valley, wow, so many OGs, ML, Valley, everyone is here. Amazing. Amazing. Okay, so this now, right, will count 30 and will ring everything else down other than the first voice. So the first voice, okay, so here we have also to mix. There is a lot of silence here, I'm sorry. Mix it and mix this here. What else we didn't fade out? Oh, and the bass, maybe the bass can also stay at the end, right? So now we have everything, I believe. Oh no, the chord we didn't do. So we need to do the chord also for fade out. 1 and 2. Did I miss anything? Right, the bass will stay, the kick will stop, we said. This will fade out, this will fade out. Okay, I think I'm gonna hit play and let's see what will happen. I hope I remembered everything. Shall I hit play? I don't know, I'm excited. I'm excited. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna hit play and I'm gonna stop talking, so this will hopefully work. We did it! We did it! It worked! Yes! Okay. So now every time I hit play, or we hit play, or you hit play, basically it will be a bit different because the generative clock is different, the triggers are different, the Turing machine is different. Right, we created a whole generative patch with a generative arrangement also, that every time you hit play, basically it will be a bit different, which is quite nice. The magic of the counter. It's a bit, yes, it's a bit Sudoku-like, that you have to concentrate and connect everything, but if it works, it's really fun. Yes, it worked and it was fun. Okay, that was it for today. Thank you so much for joining me on midday all of a sudden for a live stream. But that was it. This was really cool, really fun. I hope to see you on the next one. If you have any ideas, requests, let me know in the comments for live streams, of course. And that was it. Thank you. Cheers.